Okay, hi everyone. This is a very short tutorial to explain the introduction to data visualization exercise we're going to do in class today. What you'll see on my screen here is I've got Blender open and I'm using Blender to analyze some data that I've downloaded with a Python script and transforming that data into these curves here, and there's lots of things we can do with these curves. What they represent, this is it's weather data over year by year. So this is the weather data in Hong Kong from 1928, and this is from, I believe, 2024, and we've got like January up the top here, and these are the average temperatures going around the year. Okay, so, Hong Kong is in the northern hemisphere, so the temperatures are cooler in January and they're warmer in June, July. I'll just show you how to make this, but this is just meant to be a guide for your own experimentation, to find ways to use data to make different objects and different types of artworks. Okay, so I'm just going to start a new file. All right, so first of all, I'm going to go into the scripting workspace, and in the scripting workspace I'll create a new Python script, and we've just got that here. I can also delete all of the objects in my scene. I don't need them at the moment. I'm just going to press A and X to delete and hit delete. So now we've got an empty scene and an empty script. Now I'm going to give you the link to this Python script here. It's just something that I generated like vibe coding with an AI. We can have a read of it, but I'm going to paste it in here. And what it's going to say is, okay, we need to import a CSV file, a comma separated values file, think of it as a spreadsheet. And we need to change some variables. So there's some settings that we need to change. And then it's going to take this data and transform it into our shape. So to get the data, I've just been using from the Hong Kong Observatory, you can get all of this weather data. And it's quite amazing. You can get the daily mean or the daily average temperature going back really quite a long way. So we can just pick a year, like, I don't know, 1957, I guess, random year. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste all of this into a spreadsheet. So I'll just hit copy, and I've just made this spreadsheet here, Hong Kong weather. I'm going to make a new tab, add a sheet, and what year did I say I had? 57, was it? 1957, okay, so I'll call this one 1957, 1957, and then I'm just going to hit paste. Okay, so there's my data. Now, depending on what you want to do, there's so much cool stuff that you can download from government websites all around the world, have all sorts of interesting data that you can look at, but weather is something nice and simple. Then I'm just going to download this as a CSV file, comma separated values. And that basically means we won't have all the formatting of the colors and the cells and so on. We'll just have the values. So I'm going to download that. It's gone into my downloads folder. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it into a folder that I've made called HK Weather. Okay. Then what I need is I need to tell my Blender script where is this CSV file. If I press spacebar, you can see, it's just basically an unformatted spreadsheet. Okay, if you're on a Mac and you don't see this little taskbar down here, I believe you can go View and Hide or Show Path Bar. But what's useful about that is if I right-click here, I can copy the path name. And that's what our script needs in order to know where to find this data. So if I go back into Blender, this thing here that says CSV file path, I'm just going to delete in between the quotation marks and paste my new file path. And I've also got the year of the data, and that's just to calculate, for any other variables like leap years, which might make the number of days slightly different, and therefore the number of vertexes in the curve that we're drawing would have to be adjusted. Okay, so I'm going to put in 1957. I think that's all we need. So I'm going to run this script and let's see what happens. Okay, so it ran really quickly, and now we've got this curve here. It's actually running so that the the January 1st at the moment is on the positive x-axis. If you want to have it facing up, you can just RZ, and it's probably going to be, we can see it's going to be 90, so I'll just go RZ 90. Boom. And okay, so there's our curve. We can do lots of things with this curve. We could make another one, and I don't know, if we had two of them, we could do something like, I'm just going to duplicate it quickly. Shift D, left click, and grab it up. We could do things like, I'm going to just quickly join them, Command J, press Tab, grab all of my edges, and I could go like edge, bridge, edge loops, and we could start to make 3D objects. There's so many things you could do with this. In class, we'll talk more about how to think about data meaningfully. This is still very, very abstract, but I thought this was just a nice kind of introduction as to how to transform a data set into something that we might start to work with artistically. Now, of course, this also might become more interesting as you start to layer up more years, right? Like if I do 1957, 1967, 1977, we might start to see patterns or changes. So there's we can start to make meaning by using time as a variable and changing things, or, let your imagination be your guide. But I'll end this video here, and then you can use this as a baseline for your own experimentation. Okay, bye-bye.